Hey folks, hope you're well out there. It's a crisp one out here, that's for sure. But that's not going to stop me. I'm out here sawing today. And we've got a bit of a treat compared to what I normally saw. This is what I normally saw. You can see mostly red pine, the odd white pine in there. This is a piece of red oak. Now this came down in a big storm. This is a branch of it. I had a big tree. I didn't want to come down, but it decided it was time. This thing I think is like 128 years old based on my rings that I counted on the base of it. We'll cut that up here today, and we'll also cut this piece of hard maple. Now these pieces aren't the biggest pieces, but I thought I'd save them from the firewood pile, and we'll see what they look like inside. I know many of you have asked me before what the saw can do for hardwood, and I thought, well, today's the day. So we got it up there onto the mill. We'll cut that one up first, and we'll cut this one up, and we'll be using this thing to do so. The Clarke Model 350-38. This thing has been a beast and a half, that's for sure. This has a 2-inch blade on here. I think it's like, can't remember now, what is it, 18 foot 2 inches in length, and well, it cuts really, really well. That'll cut, if I'm not mistaken, a 36-inch log if I ever have one. In fact, the base of that was certainly that big, but I didn't have it at the time. 36-inch long, or 36-inch wide, and it'll also cut a 20-foot log, so that'd be a big one up there. I'm quite confident this would handle it, though. If you look at it, everything on here is solid steel. Maybe you haven't seen it before if you haven't been around the channel, but it's got the works on it. The log stops here on the right, all 4 of them, vertical, up and down. There's my 2 big log clamps. You can see them there, big log chain turner. The end feed toe boards, so these things, one there, one down there, they can raise up and they can rotate to move the log wherever I need it to be. And then at this end, we've got the roller to help the material get dragged back here. And then I got a little bit of a roller table to finish the job. Right onto my trailer and away I go. Here's the command center, if you will. Don't laugh at my tape measure. If you've ever had an old one and it wouldn't retract, you get frustrated like I do. That thing's headed to the trash. Here's the command center, as I mentioned. It's all hydraulic, this sawmill. Diesel engine up there, 37 horse, has a hydraulic pump that runs everything on this. Sends all the fluid back through these valves. Got some flow control back here as well for various things. This is the primary joystick. Forward, fast forward, reverse, fast reverse. And then if I decide, I can use the Mikron Setworks. And this thing helps me to set the cut height without having to read off the scale. I just I input some parameters like the board thickness I'm after. And this thing will calculate, including the kerf, where the next cut should be. So handy unit right there. Check out my playlist if you want to see more videos with that. And well, that's the once over of the machine. So now we'll fire it up. As I said, that's a 37 horse Kubota diesel. And usually when it's cold like this, it just takes a second. Certainly a cold start this morning, but it has no trouble. And I think people have asked me before, does it have a block heater? It does, so I could plug it in right there if need be. But it's not all that cold out yet. We get down to like negative 25 Celsius. Well, there we have it, folks. That was a treat for me here today. Red oak on my right, hard maple on my left. I don't often get out here and cut hardwood. I'm often cutting spruce and pine. As you look around, you probably can guess why. I've got an abundance of it. That ice storm brought it down, not by choice. And I'm trying to get ahead of not only the bugs, but the winter. And so I've been cutting that stuff as fast as I can, as you see piled up there. And once that's done, I'm back out there. And once that's done, I'm back out here. You get the point. Getting some hardwood, though, getting that cut up sure makes for some nice lumber. And it starts making me question all those hardwood logs that are in my firewood pile. I certainly enjoy it when I'm sitting by the wood stove in the middle of winter, but I also enjoy seeing it in lumber format. Just having a look here. Here's the red oak. Cut very, very flat. That's my biggest concern. It's got to be a consistent dimension, which it is. I think the set that I put on that blade wasn't quite 100% though. There's some vertical lines here that I'll fix up, but that's probably due to my inexperience with my new setter. Having a look at this board, that's a beautiful one right there. Obviously a little bit of waste will come out of this, but overall there's a lot of nice material in here. Same thing down here, some more nice 2-inch boards, and once again these vertical lines, I think that's due to my set. I'll blame myself for that one. The hard maple, this is nice stuff. I like hard maple. Any maple for that matter, bird's eye maple as well. Beautiful stuff if you're a woodworker. And the dimensions are nice and consistent, nice sharp edges on that. Very, very nice. So we'll get that stacked up, as I said. One final thing, you probably saw what I saw. When I got that red oak up there, it certainly wasn't straight. It had some crooks to it. It was nice to see the log turner be able to flick that thing around, manipulate it as I needed to, without any struggle whatsoever. Up until this point, I've typically put some softwood up there. The softwood pretty much flies around here, as many rotations as I want with that turner, but you never do know once the weight starts getting up there what it's going to perform like. And that didn't even flinch, so that's a good sign for me. I'm pretty certain you get a log even bigger than that, it's probably going to do just the same. So overall, very good day out here. Equipment worked well, produced some nice lumber. That's a win in my book. So if you did like that video, be sure to give it the old like-a-roo. Make sure you check out the playlist with my other sawmill videos in it, and be sure to subscribe down below. Hopefully I see you next time.